What is up, everyone? Dan Gambardello, December 20th, Crypto Capital Venture. Welcome to the live stream. I hope everybody's doing well. The first things first, I need your help again as we get this kicked off. Is my audio working? My entire microphone just plummeted to the ground. It was pretty bad. I just want to make sure that the sound is working correctly. Going to give it a few minutes, so if you're a replay viewer and you can hear me, please hit the timestamps in the pinned comment below if you want to kind of get right to the good stuff, whether that's the Litecoin news or if that's the charts, because Litecoin just broke $32. Litecoin is mooning. Okay, good. Sounds working. So yeah, this is like my third video today, and I'm doing a Litecoin video. I didn't do a Litecoin video yet. Wanted to wrap it up with a Litecoin video. And a lot to talk about today, right? A lot to talk about as the markets are moving on edge. Litecoin on edge, as is Bitcoin. I did a couple of Bitcoin technical analysis videos earlier. So I want to talk about that in context to Litecoin and what could potentially be next. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes, as I said, because my chat is not even working on my computer. What is up with the beginnings of these live streams? I just don't know. So I'm going to open my phone real quick to make sure the video is working, because every time my OBS freezes. Are we live? Are we good, everybody? Throw me a bone, somebody. Somebody throw me a bone. Are we good to go right now? I think we are. We good. Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. We're good. So thanks everybody for coming by the live stream. Yeah, I mean, I have some things I want to talk about. We have a little bit of news I wanted to go over. Maybe I'll start with that as we get some people in here. We can visit the Litecoin Foundation Twitter page. You see, what's up, Tech Lords? Thanks for coming by, my friends. Appreciate you, dude. Litecoin Foundation, the LF, has formalized a collaboration with X9 developers of XSN Official in the maintenance and hardening of LTCD. They've recently brought LTCD up to speed with BTCD. This enables Litecoin support on Neutrino, a Lightning Network client. And I can put the link in the chat for you. Check it out. And what was really weird, I saw this shortly after I received an email that you see on the screen. It says, "Hi." I get emails all the time, different projects in the space. So this one was about Litecoin Foundation. I wanted to reach out to share the following news with yourself, announcing the formal collaboration between Litecoin Foundation and the core developer team of StakeNet X9 developers. The collaboration is an important step forward in the development of Lightning Network. You see there's the news. Litecoin Foundation has formalized collaboration with X9 developers, maintenance, debugging, and hardening LTCD and potentially other Lightning Network technologies. It goes on. X9 developers have already implemented a beta version of cross-chain atomic swaps via the Lightning Network, available for testing between XSN and LTC. Their current focus is to improve the user experience of the Lightning Network and develop a one-click solution for atomic swaps on the Lightning Network. We were just talking about this. User experience. It's something that's been lacking in the crypto space, right? So really cool. Like I said, I just put the link in the description, so please feel free to check out that news and hit the like button while you're at it, as Vincent says in the chat. Thanks, Vincent. I don't like how my head is cut off here. That's a little better. So that's that. We have another piece of news. Listen, I'm going to throw this out there. There's probably some people that love Litecoin and they're like, Dan, don't talk about Charlie Lee, how he sold, right? And I don't. I never bring it up. I never really talk about it. Charlie Lee at the Litecoin conference summit, if you remember, actually brought it up when he was speaking, and he took it head on. He had an amazing presentation about, his thinking, his take, and what he was doing in that time. But it gets difficult for me, right? I'm a Litecoin fan. I'm a Charlie Lee admirer, right? Just as an entrepreneur, as an innovator, I admire the guy, right? So I see comments nonstop on YouTube about Charlie Lee selling. It drives me nuts, and I don't even reply. I don't even talk about it much. But eCurrency Hodler tweeted earlier, and he dissuaded everybody from clicking the link, but he tweeted earlier, he said, the unethical and disingenuous practice of reporters asking someone for an interview under a false pretense to write a hit piece has to stop. They should get penalized for dishonest, cherry-picked reporting. Ain't that the truth, man? Bloomberg Crypto. It's Bloomberg. It's Bloomberg. Here's the article. There's the article. Litecoin founders' liquidation lingers over coin a year later. So I'm talking about this because every once in a while, since it's something that's talked about often in the space, I feel the need to give my opinion. I feel the need to defend Charlie Lee, right? It's who I am. It's what I do. I'm going to do it right now. So I just want to throw this out there, and many of you are probably well aware, and I think there are more supporters of Litecoin and Charlie Lee than there are haters. But in life, in business especially as well, with transparency and honesty comes blessings, right? Transparency and honesty are two of the biggest things that you can carry along with you in your life. So many good things can come from it. You can be blessed by it, but there's a flip side. With those things, transparency and honesty, oftentimes come ridicule. And that ridicule often spewing from the bitter mouths of your detractors, of the people that want to see you fail, the people that don't understand how they can't succeed. They will use the good in you. They'll use your honesty and your transparency, and they'll pivot it against you. And it's their own issue. It's their own problem. It's their own misunderstanding of what is actually happening, right? It's their own insecurities. And I think it's important that I say that, because that is literally exactly what has happened for the last year exactly, December 20th, for Charlie Lee. That is exactly what it is. And you can see this. I have highlighted pieces of this, and I don't even really feel like reading it, but there's the article. Olga Karif, hating on Charlie Lee, who is an innovator, who has, he coded this thing, right, called Litecoin, and this technology has offered so much stinking value to the space. In particular, Bitcoin, i.e. SegWit alone, right? SegWit launched May 2017. And people are hating on this innovator because he, as every other investor in this decentralized environment where this environment is built to be able to do what you want, he did what he wanted. He had no obligation to do anything else other than what he wanted to do. He was a smart man for doing what he did. And if he did what he did and the price continued to rise, and a year later we're at $1,200 Litecoin, instead of pieces like this saying that he's a fraud or that he's dishonest and trying to speak down to his integrity, the pieces would be talking about how he's stupid, right, for selling. But either way, they ignore the one very crucial thing, which is the transparency and honesty that Charlie Lee has carried. And he did not have to carry it, right? So just want to throw that out there. With honesty, with integrity, like I said, comes ridicule spewing from the bitter mouths of your haters. And that really is the truth in business, especially. You know, I've witnessed it firsthand. And if you're out there and you carry your life, your business with integrity and honesty, you get it. That's like carrying a light into the darkness, right? Darkness does not want the light there. So you're going to have things like this. And unfortunately, for Charlie Lee's honesty and transparency, integrity with what he did, which actually, if you want to like examine what he did, he gave everybody a huge opportunity that he didn't have to, based on his knowledge and his experience with just the volatility of the space. Everybody was high on euphoria. Like, Charlie Lee might have been one of the only level-headed dudes around being like, hey, this has happened before, right? So that's it. That's my rant on Charlie Lee. A year later, as more and more, more people continue hating on him. Olga, I just got to tell you, Olga over there at Bloomberg, I'm not a fan of this. I'm really not. No value here. And I just wonder your intentions. So, not even going to read it. Not even going to read it. Let's close it. Boom. And there are the charts. There are the charts, everybody. Thanks, Tech Lords. This video alone is probably going to get a bunch of, they're not even going to watch the video. They're going to see Charlie Lee's name in the title and they're going to hate comment me. Go for it, people. Look at the weekly. Look at the weekly on Litecoin. First off, Litecoin just broke above $32. Really, really crazy times right now because there's that mix of excitement, right? And it's mixed with caution. There's the mix of excitement with caution. And let's highlight real quick, you can see on the screen the first bottom of Litecoin in January 2015. You see a picture. We've tracked this bear market simultaneously throughout 2018. If you've been watching this channel, we've so often zoomed out to find these similar moves in Litecoin and Bitcoin. And you can see it continues in so many ways that I'm not even going to go over. I've done it in a video a couple days ago for Bitcoin, but it continues, the harmony between the charts. And here we are now. And listen, when it stops following this move, when the harmony stops, I promise you, I'll cover that, right? I'll be like, hey, we finally kind of broke, but we were anticipating even this bottom channel that we're in right now that might end. I don't know. It could end in a week, but we anticipated this bottom channel similar to the bottom channel that we had in the bear market. So here we are now. We can look at the oscillators. And you can even see, and actually while I'm thinking about it, I was ranting, and I know I got Crypto Angels, I got a super chat, $1.99, just FUD to get their sticky fingers on it. Crypto Angels, thanks for the super chat. I wanted to say thank you. It just popped in my mind. I appreciate it. And again, thank you. R. Rafterman, love your stand for an honest, smart man. Thank you for the super chat, R. Rafterman. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Dude, come on. It's Charlie Lee. Like, he created Litecoin. He's a stand-up guy. He's a stand-up fellow. Right? I sat down with him at the Litecoin Summit. He's a cool dude. I could have done a better video. I could have. I remember I was chatting with him briefly after the summit was over and we were all out. And he told me it was a pretty crappy video. Charlie Lee told me it was a pretty crappy interview. You believe that, everybody? You know that broke my heart? Charlie Lee telling me I did a crappy interview. I'm pretty sure I think he was sarcastic, but I know it probably could have been better. So here it is. So you see the synergy, but I want to pivot this over to the oscillators. Here we are in the oscillators on the weekly. You see synergy here even. So we can start by, let's open up the RSI, right? This for the long-term trend of Litecoin and Bitcoin and whatever you're looking at. The RSI on the weekly is awesome, okay? And this is the perfect, you know, it's not rocket science, right? There's no inside knowledge if somebody says, hey, I think this is a good time to take profit and sell my Litecoin. You see this on the screen? Does everybody see this? That's not inside knowledge. Okay, and that's actually what happened. But look at the downside. Look at the market right now in terms of this bounce. So we have the synergy on the charts right now continuing, but look at the RSI here. Look at this oversold line right around 30. Look at the bounce Litecoin had back in 2015. Basically, you know, we briefly dipped below it barely. And then we bounced out of the bear market, right? And this is the bottom channel in terms of the RSI. This is the bottom channel that you see on the screen, right? And you can see it lasted until May. So we're talking January to May. And we talk about this often, this bottom channel, right? Coming out of a bear market, it's not like all of a sudden you're going to bounce off the bottom and all of a sudden start breaking all-time highs. Like, that's most likely not how it's going to work. That's not how markets move typically. It's crypto, so I'm sure we could be surprised, but that's probably not going to happen. But this is the bottom channel. So going back to the RSI, you can see, you know, we bounced off the bottom. We had some volatility. We came back down quite strongly for a final touch, actually even lower than the first bottom, right? That downside was there. It definitely took some patience. However, we exited, and you can see the exit out of the bear market, trading sideways a while, and then we, you know, boom. Everybody knows the story. Now, let's look at this. Look at the similarities. So here's the last all-time high for Bitcoin or Litecoin, March 14, and then we have all-time high, great place to sell Litecoin in 2013 into 2014. Right there, and then we enter this bear market, okay? Now here we are, 2017 into 2018, great place on the RSI. This is the weekly, incredibly overbought. Incredibly overbought. Great time to sell. You don't need inside knowledge to know that. And same exact thing, bear market. And now here we are. We followed similar moves in terms of bounces off the, you know, off of EMAs on the weekly and the daily, and here we are. We actually just bounced similarly off the 30, that right in that oversold. On an RSI, this is oversold, right? And we just bounced out of that area, and so you can see the move, so similar to the bounce that we had in January of 2015. And that's just the similarities in terms of the oscillators, right? So we've done charting and we looked at the similarities, and we can even see the similarity on the RSI. So coming out of this bottom, the stock RSI, I apologize. Coming out of this bottom, stock RSI, nice gains. And let's see what were those gains in that week? Because that's a pretty hefty price or weekly candle, right? So we're talking 78% gains in that weekly candle. So currently in our current weekly candle, we have around 28% weekly gains. Okay, sorry, we're not Bcash with its 200% gains. Dang, talk about crazy. I tweeted about that earlier because it's just crazy. It's crazy to go to that chart and look at it. So here we are. Similarly, we have that bounce off the RSI. We have this oversold RSI. Now we have this similar bounce turnaround still in the oversold area on the RSI, on the stock RSI, apologize. And hopefully coming out of it, right? We have room to go. We have room to grow. This stock RSI back in 2015 actually approached the overbought area, right? We're not even out of the oversold area yet. So I want to throw that out there. Litecoin can continue. Bitcoin similarly. The markets can continue in this bullish trend. It can happen. I just did a bearish video talking about the potential downside to keep an eye on. We have some really important, very important indicators and resistance areas to look out for. So right now you can see Litecoin on the MACD, literally like just getting its cross. The MACD line above the signal line, something to keep an eye out on. And then really lastly, what I want to talk about on this long-term weekly chart is something that I probably should have highlighted sooner, which is volume. Look at the volume of Litecoin, and you can see the volume in Bitcoin as well, higher than what it's been for sure. But again, very similar in terms of when Litecoin exited the bear markets, right? We're almost at that same level in terms of that week of June 15. So really interesting things happening right now for Litecoin, Bitcoin, the whole markets. But at the same time, there's a lot of resistance ahead. So I think it's very important to keep these things in mind. Namely, you have the Fibonacci resistance. If I can open it, come on. So Fibonacci resistance right there. You can see it. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little better. This is the daily chart. So everybody knows, if you've been watching this channel, this area, right, has proven to be incredible. And I'm just looking at the chart right now. We can probably even, let's just see, boom. Do you see in this downtrend, this green channel on Fibonacci, the 618 to 786, you can do this over and over again. It's a very, very important area because it's so consistent. If you want to keep an eye out, if you want to keep your eyes peeled on an area to break, this is where it's at. And you do it along with the EMAs on the daily and 4 hour. I'm telling you, it is the most consistent way to anticipate if a bullish trend will continue or not. I understand, and if we can go to, this is the daily chart right now. I know people like to, go back here and say, okay, let's put a trend line here, and that can act as support if we come back down, and then let's put our first area of resistance right here because we kind of saw some support. I don't do that often because I feel like that is probably the least reliable way to use technical analysis. So, but what we do use is Fibonacci. We use the 50 EMA, we use the 200 EMA, and you can see it. So in terms of Litecoin right now on the daily chart, if you're just looking at the daily chart, I'm really just focused right now on this 786, the Fibonacci. Obviously, right above that, we have a huge key area, which is this 50 EMA. The 50 EMA currently is right around $34. So you can zoom out, and we have two things that have happened this entire bear market. So all we have to do is see if it happens again. Number one, rejection from the 50 EMA. We've been here before with really nice gains, right? Really nice gains in a few days, people getting hype, bear market's over, yay, this is awesome. And then we see rejection at the 50 EMA. It happens time and time again. It's a bear market. So it could very much happen again, in the next couple of days. Now, what we do is we are looking for confirmation. I was in the kitchen earlier. I'm like, what, what's like the biggest reason why we do technical analysis? If I could put it into one word, and it really is, we do it for confirmation. We find these areas of confirmation. And that is the thing that allows us to make our decisions in terms of our risk analysis when we want to buy more, right? So confirmation. So we get confirmation that the bear market's continuing with things like this. Rejection right here at the 50 EMA. Again, rejection again. Confirmation. Wait for the dip. Buy more because we just saw rejection. Rejection. That's confirmation. Confirmation. Rejection. Right? So instead of buying FOMO here at $55, if you were seeing that resistance and charting it, you would say, hey, let me wait. Let me wait a little bit. And guess what? You'd get Litecoin like over 50%, at a 50% discount from that area. And then you can accumulate down here when it's oversold and people are panicking and talking about $5 Litecoin. So we're at the similar area right now. Right now, somebody in one of my last videos said, make a call, like do something, say something. So I don't make a call because I'm sitting here watching what's going to happen next. I'm not accumulating anything right now at these levels. This is where I like to accumulate, right? When that fear is there and we're trading like in this downward ugly area after seeing big losses. I like buying red. I don't feel comfortable buying all this green right here, especially in the 786 rejection area right below the 50 EMA. I'm not going to do it. But that's my approach. So what am I looking for in terms of confirmation for a bullish scenario would be to break above this 786. And you see this brand new candle just formed, right? We're getting this brand new daily candle as we do the video. So I'm looking for a break above the 786 right here, and then a break above the 50 EMA. And you have to be patient, meaning we get a break above it. That's not like an instant signal, right, of anything. What you need is support above it. Because you can zoom out on the charts. We can zoom out, and we can see what a bullish trend looks like in terms of the 50 EMA. And here it is. Break above it, back down, hugging along it, break above it, support, right? And then just trading and bouncing above it. So support above the 50 EMA is one of the biggest signals of a bull market, and it requires being patient because I guarantee you when we enter a bull market in crypto, I don't know if it's going to be this time around or if it's going to be in 6 months from now. When we enter a bull market, there are going to be many opportunities in accumulating dips along the way in that bull market, right? So just for a quick example, August 2017 had some nice gains in Litecoin. This is the weekly chart, by the way. Then we saw an ugly dip, really big weekly candle, but we got a nice little bounce and support off the 50 EMA on that chart. That would have been a good area to accumulate. You can accumulate in a bull market and make money even more confidently than you can in a bear market. So, lastly, you can get a picture of what this continued downtrend looks like for Litecoin. And you can see clear rejection so far in that 786 area. And so that's the area that I will be watching right now in terms of Litecoin. But yeah, look at these moves. Litecoin back in August, right? 39, 40% gains, 40% gains. And on the 4-hour, actually briefly made it above the 200 EMA. Which is currently doing. But again, similar to the 50 EMA in the daily, on the 4-hour, we want to see that similar type of move. Support above the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. That is a signal. That is a confirmation of something. And then that's really what I'm looking at right now in terms of Litecoin and Litecoin in its bullish trend. So if you want reference to the bearish, scenario for Litecoin, I would recommend going to the Bitcoin video I just uploaded before I basically got on this live stream. So be keenly aware of the fact that on the daily chart, Litecoin is currently overbought, right? We can bring that back down. We can bring that back down with, a current lower high, or I'm sorry, higher low, right? We can come back down a little, first higher low scenario, bounce off of that and then approach it. That would be a healthy situation, but time will tell, right? This is why we track it. But right now, all eyes are really peeled on the, zooming out, 50 EMA for Litecoin, 50 EMA, blue line right there, and this 786, currently right around $33.16. Could it happen tonight? Absolutely. Heck yeah, I hope so. What's up, Poseidon Lou? 9.99 super chat. Man, I don't know how you do it, dude. With all this cheap Litecoin, you can be buying so much Litecoin. You probably are buying so much Litecoin. Poseidon Lou, thanks for coming by, dude, and thank you for the super chats. It's very much appreciated. I have to bounce. I have to get out of here. Wanted to go over that again. Anybody that's new here, the life lesson of today, I will repeat it. With transparency and honesty comes blessing. So maintain the attitude, character of integrity, honesty, and transparency. But with it, I assure you, comes ridicule and hate, most often spewing out of the bitter mouths of your haters, your detractors, the people that want to see you fail. And so it is for Charlie Lee. And so it'll make him a stronger person of character, a stronger, smarter entrepreneur. And I'm sure he's learning that lesson in wisdom. But those are my thoughts. Appreciate all of you super chatters. I love you. 3 videos today. Talk about killing it. I'm so proud of myself for the consistency. Dude, I'm doing a walk-off. Poseidon Lou, don't start with me, my friend. Poseidon Lou. $49.99 super chat, dude. That's literally almost 2 Litecoin. Dude. I know you now, man. I know you now. You're nuts. Tech Lord says, thank you, Dan. Give my regards to Sarah. I will. Dude, you're killing me. Poseidon Lou, that's too much, bro. Too much. Look at this. You already gave me these, first of all, which are sick. Like, what am I going to do? You're my boy, Lou. Love you, man. So those are my thoughts in this live stream. You guys are awesome. I'm just having some fun with it. I hope you got some value out of this live stream. There's a lot to watch. There's a lot of really good stuff. Now that things are moving, it's nice to be so close to resistance because now we can watch for confirmations. So you guys are awesome. Poseidon Lou, you're crazy. You're my boy. Appreciate all of you. If you're not a subscriber, please just hit the subscribe button. It's not that hard. We have some fun over here. Ask Poseidon Lou. You guys are awesome. I will see you all in the next video. Have an awesome night. Let's see what happens with Litecoin, and God.